Good evening. Tonight, 4 newly birthed night creatures set off on a great journey. They have been tasked with exploring 9 recently conquered necromancer towers on behalf of the Fortress of Chantedfins. But these strange beings want to explore the folded continents on their own terms, and haven't decided whether they'll listen to the orders of the Mage Queen. The 4 comrades start by heading south, away from the necromancer towers. The lands to the north are rather dangerous. Between the goblins and the evil swamps, heading that way could make for a pretty risky trip. For now, the group would rather explore the nearby settlements. There's no rush. If we want to go up north eventually, the option's always there. Udil leads the way, following the coast to the southwest. They cross red sandy beaches and rocky conglomerate shores. Kosoth's dog, Eshtan, amuses herself by chasing after crabs among the tide pools. Herds of wild giraffe and rhinoceros graze near the coast. The cool sea breeze takes the edge off the scorching sun. Before long, the group sees a structure in the distance and decides to investigate. They arrive at Trimmaster, the human fort. This place has tall wooden walls topped with fortifications. Looks like a pretty defensible spot. Udil dismounts and leads her steed into the great structure. There are sounds coming from a building within the compound. Inside, Udil finds a greasy-haired human lasher. She looks like a soldier. This might be a group of mercenaries.
Greetings, my name is Udil Ancient Roof.
Hello, Lobster Quake's Eye. I am Pebu Umberbraved.
How are you feeling?
Show some mercy now and again. Uh-huh.
Well, how's life here?
I hear there is an insurrection against the Decisive Council here in Trimmaster. Intriguing.
Well, what's your opinion on the matter?
The Decisive Council has ruled this place well. This insurrection doesn't have much chance of success anyway.
Who's behind this insurrection?
No idea, it's just a rumor. Indeed, no one seems to know much about this supposed coup. Udil finds a barracks full of humans, but no one seems to have any more information about the insurrection. Well, these folks seem pretty well armed. We're pretty sure they can take care of themselves. The group continues on. They head further south along the coast. Here they find a monastery, Balanced Bears. There's a building here, but the door is made of something odd. We're not really sure what this material is. Best not to mess with it. Ah, a shrine. This sanctuary was created by the Sect of Stability, human worshippers of Kwabu, human goddess of balance. Next to an Electrum statue of Kwabu is a pedestal, upon which rests a marble dodecahedral die. The 4 don't really know much about the gods, or religious practices, but Rovad is curious and decides to try rolling the die. What's the worst that could happen? The die lands on an image of a traveling human. Rovad has been granted healing. How fitting for our doctor. Of course, none of us are wounded, so we're not really sure what benefits this might have. Odom takes an interest and gives it a roll as well. The die shows an image of gauntlets. Odom gets the uncanny feeling that he will have a moment of weakness today. Perhaps he should take it easy for a while. Udil also figures she'll give it a whirl. She rolls an image of a weeping human. The words, "Do not give them too much," appear in her mind. Rather ominous. Does this refer to the other members of the group? Udil makes a mental note to look out for herself. Finally, Kosoth takes her turn. Her roll turns up an image of a plaintive human. She has been cursed with a week's bad luck. Well, drat it all. She puts the die back on its pedestal. Frustrated by her foul luck, Kosoth throws caution to the wind and starts opening doors. One of the buildings houses 4 goblins. They're armed. One seems to be trying to question one of our rhinos.
Identify yourself.
Greetings, I am Kosoth.
I've defeated many fearsome opponents.
They're drawing weapons, I don't like this.
Calm yourself.
You calm down.
One of the goblins, their commander apparently, takes a swing at Kosoth using a slicing knife. It looks like we have a fight on our hands. Kosoth is in the front of the group, and despite her week of bad luck, she's still an overwhelming fighter. She holds the commander by the head, squeezing on his skull, while goring the goblin with her 4 horns. Eventually, Udil manages to put down the commander with her axe. The group makes quick work of the rest of their attackers. One goblin is still alive, sleeping. They slept through the entire fight. We can't seem to wake them up, but they're no threat to us, we'll leave them be. Kosoth took a scratch on her arm during the fight, but Rovad patches her up pretty quick. We're really not sure why these goblins attacked us in the first place, or what they were doing here. It's hard to imagine these well-armed goblins were monks living at this human monastery. Perhaps they're a group of soldiers working on behalf of the southern goblins. The Sepia Lie. The Sepia Lie has had limited contact with the northern civilizations of the Folded Continents, so we're not sure why they would occupy this monastery. In any case, there's nothing else here for the group. They move on. Indeed, it's starting to seem more and more like this whole region is pretty empty. This tropical grassland, the Hill of Mornings, is really out in the boonies. It's not hard to see why there aren't a lot of people living here. With goblins to the north and south, and the sun beating down all hours of the day, it's not the most hospitable region. We could spend the next few days wandering between the scattered monasteries and mercenary forts, but there hardly seems to be any point. Udil yearns to see the populous dwarven cities of the Northlands. Kosoth wants to find opportunities to help people. Rovad wants to learn from the books and scholars of the dwarven heartlands. Odom is honestly fine with whatever. He's pretty laid back. In any case, all signs point north. And of course, there is the mission. These four may try to escape their duties, but the shadow of the tower looms over all. These night creatures were birthed from dark magic. The sorcery of the necromancers flows through their very blood. Can they really resist the Mage Queen's will forever? And so, the Guild of Strangeness heads north. They'll have to trek through evil wastelands and dark goblin pits to reach their destination. But Odom, Udil, Kosoth, and Rovad are a hardy bunch. With wit, diplomacy, strength, and knowledge, they will surely succeed and reach the Dwarven Heartlands. But it's getting late, and I must retire. Come find me again some other night to hear more tales of the four misfits and their northward trek. Before we go, I thought I'd give a shout out to my new Patreon page. If you're interested in supporting me, check out the link in the description. Now that I'm working on these videos full-time, consistently uploading weekly, I felt like it was time to set this up. By supporting me on Patreon, you can help me keep telling Dwarf Fortress stories and sharing them. These funds will allow me to purchase drawing materials, recording equipment, sound effects, music, and will also help cover my living expenses. With your help, these videos can be better than ever. Patrons will receive rewards, like behind-the-scenes updates, digital art books, and participation in Fortress and Adventure Mode decision polls. Particularly generous supporters will be able to commission a one-time Dwarf Fortress-themed drawing. Right now, I'm totally fine financially, but eventually I'll need to cut back on these videos a lot, unless I can make income through them. I know times are tough for a lot of people, so if you're not able to donate right now, please don't feel any obligation. These videos are meant to be free. This is just another option to support me if you want to. Another way you can support me is by sharing these videos with others. In any case, thanks for watching. Knowing that people are enjoying my goofy dwarf videos is plenty gratifying in itself. And as always, have a good night.